here is the buffs that we're about to see, especially getting good support from these two teams. Now we go to the drafting phase. This is where we check if or on how Nxpe Evos adjust to Bren Esports. They won against Smart Omega yesterday. Bren Esports.
Yeah. And of course, this just goes to show you that anything can happen in the MPL, right? We're seeing upsets after upsets all throughout the previous games in this week. But so far, it's Nxpe, which is going to be our home team, picking the red side. So they're going to have the luxury of getting those first two picks. Banning out the Valentina, meanwhile, Bren Esports doesn't really want to take or doesn't really want to have problems with the Natalia of that possible Renegade pick, so they're going to take that out of the equation.
We have the respect bans here for Bren Esports, also targeting out Natalia, being the early game disruptor hero for Nxpe Evos. Also, we're taking out the Fanny of Bren Esports. That was deadly yesterday. I know you casted that game, won't we?
Yeah, we all saw Kyle Teasy, not just with the Lancelot, but also the Fanny. Looking back at Kyle Teasy's history in with a hero Fanny, not so much impact in the professional scene yet.
Yeah.
He only played one game. It was his debut game at 100% win rate right now.
Oh.
But if you look at the amateur scene, where he played tons of games with that Fanny pick, it's the same. Let's just say it's the signature, his signature pick during his amateur scene stint. But other than that, Lancelot is still his, let's say, favorite hero out here. And Bren Esports, they would not shy away from picking that Lancelot again. Yesterday was an amazing play for them.
Yeah, we're looking at right now on how Nxpe Evos. Who do they target here, Sona?
Yeah, honestly, the meta that we are currently in right now is just trying to give more space to the jungle. So as much as possible, when you get those snowball type of heroes, most especially because we have H2O and Kyle Teasy, that we all know that if they get those snowball factor, they get those kills, they get those, you know, major objectives, it's going to be a very good sign for them. Not to mention the Lancelot that Umi mentioned a while ago can also be used by both of the junglers, so it might be a possibility for them to contest it.
Yeah.
However, the Valentina is not going to be open, and so will be the Faramis. So they might go for a Beatrix just to give a comfortable pick here for both of the gold laners, but let's see who will pick it up.
I love that you mentioned the signature picks, but Julian has been released of Bren Esports right now. Still a flexible pick for this first phase.
Definitely. Julian is one of those first picks, especially if you're in the blue side, that gives you a lot of versatility. Could be played in the jungle, could be played in mid lane, and sometimes you could even play him in the XP lane. But of course, having him in the position 4 in the jungle is always a priority. So we're going to see Yelly Haze right now, his stats. This is shared amongst his hero pools, but let's just say that his favorites, Julian, is one of them. We have seen this this red side trend where they get the Paquito early, in which case they will lock it in.
Yeah. And at some point, you know, the Lavender duo here for Yellow Haze is going to come or is going to arrive for them. But what I like about this matchup is that, you know, Paquito, they really prioritize the sustainability and the burst damage. You're already going to see the type of gameplay that Nxpe will consume here for them if they would actually be able to do so, given that that Paquito could possibly go to James. And we know James usually going for that Uranus, usually going for that Esmeralda, very tanky heroes. But instead, it is still a possibility for them to go for the Paquito, given that it is someone that can access the backdoor play. So an Eve choice here for the side of Bren Esports might be highly unlikely, given that there's already backdoor access.
Yeah, you've mentioned James right here, you know, the objective on how to control the side lanes, on how Bren utilizes their momentum. But onto the side of their picks here, Masha and a Beatrix for this side.
I like the Masha pick coming in from Bren Esports. I feel like another counter pick to the Claude is the Masha. It's been rising as a counter pick against the Claude, mainly because the only thing that you have to do as this Masha is to find the Claude inside a team fight, go in with your Thunderclap, just make sure that the Claude bleeds before he even throws out his Blazing Duet. Once you do that, he's no longer anything inside the team. I can't even describe him at this point, because a Claude with 50% HP cannot go in a 3v1 scenario with his Blazing Duet.
This is the problem of having a Masha. It's always about the backline access.
Yeah, although this could still be a possibility to go to the XP or roam lane. So we're still not sure how this is going to go for the side of Bren Esports. Although, on the other hand, Nxpe Evos might just go ahead and ban the D-Roth pick, given that they do have that Esmeralda. So it might it might be certain now, given that we already have an XP laner for the side of the Neon Tigers, that the Paquito might be their very own jungler. One concern that I have here is that they've already shown 2 of their main damage dealers, so there's not going to be a lot of options for them, and what they need to do is to just try and secure. I mean, Eve is still available for them, just so they could deny it from the Esmeralda for them to move around freely around the map.
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to be it for me.
Either for XP lane, but now Bren Esports' Mpl-Ph is shortening down the bans onto the jungle. If taken out the Balmond, now they can also, but Bren Esports prioritizing the tank ban.
Yeah, they have to limit the crowd
Franco.
control that Nxpe has because, again, as you guys said, they already have the damage. Blazing Duet, the Paquito combos are there, the Esmeralda is also there. And Sona, you're right, they have revealed a lot of their lineup at this point. The Paquito will most likely be going to the jungle. The Esmeralda has no other place but the XP lane. And I haven't seen Donut playing a gold lane fighter. He usually plays marksman, and we have a Claude. When was the last time that you've seen a jungle Claude?
Oh, what, season
7, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say that part.
Yeah.
It's
been a long
it takes
time.
so much time to pull that off. I love that you mentioned that we're still not seeing a donut hero. What one option is left for the table is we could either see an Irithel.
No, the Donut. Oh, this is sure Claude going to Donut.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a jungle Claude for the longest time. So
Yeah.
what they're missing is actually mid lane and XP lane.
Yeah, I was trying to vibe out. I was trying to get my hands so excited on that possibility. But still, it's a show.
I knew it. I knew it.
And the crowd goes wild.
And the
There you
crowd
have
goes
it.
wide. You already know what this means. This show will be going to Renegade, man. Renegade is just one of the best show users in the game, and it will, of course, be beneficial for them, most especially because there is a Beatrix on the side.
I love that you mentioned it. He is one of the best shows in the game, but that is a game that has existed way back.
That's true.
The game is different right now, and Renegade is practically new. This is his debut game in Season 10. I do think that there has been a lot of changes inside the meta that would basically change the way he views Cho.
We might see another adaptability in the side of the Hitman or Renegade onto this part, but onto the side of Bren Esports, the Kadita and the Arenas was the final option against the cards of Mpl-Ph.
Yeah, they kind of want to fight the
Ruby
pick off
instead.
and the burst capabilities by the durability that is presented by them. We saw Uranus from a while ago, so it is somewhat looking like, you know, the Julian is going to go to the mid lane together.
No.
Wait, it's the Kadita and the Ruby moving forward with that Julian all throughout the mid lane. So it's going to be at least the Beatrix and the Masha to at least assist that durability in the same way. So they have a lot of toolkits as to how they would be able to pick off at least 1 to 2 members and burst them all down.
Yeah, we've seen this in Bren Esports yesterday. The Julian will definitely go inside the jungle, as you said, Sona. And Few has played a lot of Kadita mid lane as well.
A lot.
And the Kadita mid lane for Few yesterday, he could take down a flying Fanny.
Yeah.
When can you say that you could take down a flying Fanny as a burst mage that's very dependent on how you land your abilities? And you know, if Kadita's a skill hero, Nxpe, we're gonna take another high ceiling hero with the Selena.
Now, this is the last picks of Bren Esports and Mpl-Ph right now, defying the impossible onto this composition. You might hear the audience and crowd right now just going wild on those last moments.
Yeah, and in the same way, I actually like the Selena pick because what was missing from that one was the vision capability of the side of Mpl-Ph. And through Yelly Haze giving out to dishing out the assist, they would be able to scale in the early portions of the game once those Abyssal Traps and arrows manage to hit. And this is going to be beneficial for them moving forward.
Let's see how they move forward from this. Mpl-Ph needs to get their points in on to week 4, as we say, the mid-terms. But Bren Esports right now, could they regain the momentum? Once again, I'm loving the movement right now.
Bro,
of
going
these heroes.
crazy.
They're so alive.
And this feels like it's new. Is it new?
Yeah,
I think I
it
did
is,
see
it
this
is.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
Suddenly all the heroes are moving. Welcome to a very hyped matchup, I guess.
Yes,
Even the heroes are hyped.
Yeah, hyped and ready for action. It's game number 1. Mpl-Ph and Bren Esports to battle it out.
Man, okay, Mystery Shop is going to be used here by Kyle TZ, handling the jungle position. So at some point, it is indeed going to be the Masha. Instead of moving forward for the XP lane, they are going to go to this one, but the aggressiveness coming in from Ogwen is as expected because there's not going to be a lot of, retaliation coming in from Nxpe Evo. So all they need to do is to just give H2O some space, but Ogwen not giving any of it.
Yeah, speaking of space right now, it's still going to be the priority. Ogwen trying to lay H2, but on the side, Renegade needs to aid him as early as now. Yelly Haze.
Almost dying there.
Almost.
The regen is there for Yelly Haze, and now Few might be in trouble, but James, he's got to go out. He's got to go back to his lane. And so far, still no first blood in this game.
Yep, double Avarice also committed here by both of the side lanes, so they will be focusing on that mid lane and try to get the objectives as much as they can in this fight because it is going to be crucial for them because they have Donut, a Claude, not the best in early game positioning, but in the same way, if they would be able to get the necessary items right over here, it's going to be totally crucial in the upcoming team fights. And in the same way, for the side of Bren Esports, they have that early game advantage, so they need to maximize on that moving forward.
Speaking of maximization and space, it's up to the mid lane matchup right now. It's Yelly Haze and Few, both of the veterans, but right now, Yelly Haze needs to cover both vision and almost or early ganks as much as possible to give space for H2O.
And that's going to be extremely hard in Yelly Haze, considering that you need to manage your time well and land your skill shot. Super Marco with the great dodge to that Abyssal Arrow. But looks like Nxpe, they're relentless. They're waiting for the entirety of Bren Esports to just respond. They go back off.
Good note, though, coming in from Nxpe Evos to assist Donut coming in from the top side so that he would be able to get those energy shields and the minions in the same way because the pressure from Super Marco is just enormous at this point. Renegade, though, taking a lot of damage, but he'll take that if you're the roam, right?
Yeah, speaking of pressure right now, it's the gold lane that wants to be targeted by Nxpe. It's the delay that they wanted to do. But now we're looking for a bit of a chill or taking a time off onto this pause.
I mean, we're talking about the gold lane, we're talking about Donut, we're talking about Super Marco, who performed really well last time around. Super Marco is definitely someone that you need to take care of if you want to win the gold lane matchup. And in your cameras right now, H2O, a lot of fans in the venue right now. You could hear them screaming whenever he's seen in the camera.
Just by the entrance, and the voice of God is saying H. Everybody's just screaming out.
You already
said
know.
Ren. Oh my God! Everybody's going wild.
You already know what's about to happen when H2O is in the building. But not to mention this guy too, because he just managed to go back into this fight, but. Going back to the game, right? It was indeed, you're already seeing the rotations coming in from both of the teams. They want to go ahead from the gold lane, talking about Nxpe Evos to assist, get on with the engages, and try to pick off Super Marco as early as possible because you don't want that Beatrix to get that maximum damage potential because it's just going to wreck you, man.
Yeah, and we're seeing an early possible gank with H2 there and Yelly Haze. One thing that they're seeing of is the late game danger window that they can get in the side of Bren Esports. Although, if Bren Esports can utilize that plan of Nxpe Evos, they can either be counted from that moment. So if they continue with the path that you're saying right now, they could actually build proper momentum.
Yeah, and speaking of momentum, that's very important for a Selena, considering that landing your arrows, it feels like you're shooting threes. If you play basketball, wait, you're a volleyball player. Who am I kidding?
Bro, play basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
How about you?
I do mixed martial arts.
That's scary, bro.
That's not a team game, man. But like when we're looking at momentum, when you're playing Selena, you could practically compare it to shooting threes. When you get into that rhythm, when you get into that zone where you just shoot those threes, you land those arrows, it gets the ball rolling for your team. So it's important for Nxpe Evos to go in, assume the driver's seat, even if it's still an even ball game. Try to land your arrows. If you don't land them, just try again. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? Losing the game. That's practically it.
And one thing to consider here, we're talking about instincts of these two key players. It's the mid lane. Few has been using this, right? And one thing that we're trying to look at is he knows how this hero goes. And now, since we're talking about all the possibilities, we go back to the game, and the first turtle is up.
Half HP here on the turtle. Kyle Teasy gonna try to secure it with an empowered scythe, and he will get that with the retribution. So far, Bren Esports are not gonna go for a fight here in Pandora. Just gonna back off from James. And overall, that's a clean turtle take from Bren Esports.
This is what thing that they're talking about.
But wait a minute, Yelly's landing an arrow on Few. Thalassophobia with the heal. Renegade caught off, and he might just die here. Abyssal Arrow lands once again. She can go out with a regen as well. And Ogwin, he can't kill catch him. The hitman's too sleek.
He's still safe, and just the crowd is just going wild. And as you've noticed, Yellowhaze is still on level 3. It's about the A that he was trying to do on early game, and this is what it's talking about, Sona. It's the momentum that they need to continue.
And that was good outplay after outplay from both teams, right? Because we've seen Few was caught up in a little bit of a ruckus, but managed to swim away from that potential pickoff coming in from Nxpe Evos. And even though it was somewhat of an overextension from Renegade, it's something that he's much willing to take, given that if it was successful, it would have been a possible pickoff for Nxpe Evos. Unfortunately for them, that didn't happen, but we are still at a stalemate right over here, just 200 plus in terms of gold, although Bren taking the upper hand with the turtle take.
Yeah, it's all about Renegade here on the instincts. He has this identity way seasons back. It's the high risk, high reward plays he's trying to do for his team. But right now they're trying to be, or they want to be wary about, is the positioning of Ogwin throughout the map, as Nxpe Evos wants to delay the gold lane.
Yeah, and Yellowhaze trying once again here in the gold lane while Renegade anchors the mid lane. So far in Nxpe Evos, they've been trying to secure a lot of kills in the gold lane, but it hasn't been working out for the Neon Tigers.
Well, speaking of working out, it's James doing with the cut in the splits. Action continues to happen.
Oh, nice knock up, and look at that. The Rough Wave secures 1 kill, but it's 1-for-1 for now. Renegade goes down. Yellowhaze doesn't land Abyssal Arrow, but another kill goes to the hands of Nxpe Evos.
It's a 2-to-none trade, but now this sets up Nxpe Evos for the second turtle.
That was just good surrounding coming from the side of Nxpe Evos. They've managed to land the Abyssal Arrow, and then right after that, the Jit Kundo just come into play because of the bait that Renegade was consistently pulling off in like the first one. He was trying. You know, he was slowly pulling them down in like the first few minutes, and then all of a sudden it was again an immediate take, landing that Lord Pit coming in from the side of Nxpe.
You can hear all the screams right now. It's Nxpe Evos slowly being activated on this game, getting the second turtle of that match.
That's 1-for-1 turtles now, and Kyle TZ gonna quickly secure 2 camps here with Julian, but Yellowhaze on the back end switches to the shotgun. The garrote won't actually land, and so overall, Bren Esports, they survive another gank in the gold lane.
Oh, this is one thing that they wanted to pressure since early on. Donut is low on mana, but Ogwin is trying to utilize the space right now.
And one of the few things that I actually want to manage here is how James is consistently trying to cut the lanes as much as they can, so that they would be able to go ahead and try to focus on the remaining 2 lanes, which is going to be the middle and the top side. With James being able to take care of himself, that just goes to show that Bren Esports still has to worry about Super Marco being, you know, repeatedly being ganked here by the rest of the members of Nxpe. And there you go again. It's Renegade just catching the attention of Kyle TZ, so the gank will not be possible for the side of Bren Esports, and they will disengage.
Bren Esports has eyes on the radar right now, but I wanted to point it out that we've mentioned here, Sona, is James. One thing he's trying to do here is always to clear the XP lane. If it gives so much space for Renegade to rotate in, from the gold lane to the mid lane, protecting the resources from this on.
There's so much action happening around the gold lane, and XP lane is left like an island once again. Renegade going in for the flashy play, but he might just pay the price for it, and he's gonna go down with a Super Marco shotgun to the face. Bren Esports, they're gonna secure a kill.
That's one thing about Super Marco and this Beatrix Sona. This is getting deadly by the moment if they keep on doing that.
Yeah, it's what Umin was talking about a while ago, right? If the pickoff was successful, it would have been good. But that was, you know, the previous gameplays that Renegade have showed us. This is a lineup that consists of mobility and durability. Even if you would be able to successfully take out that Ajit Kundo and Wave Dragon, there's still a 50-50 chance that you would be able to pick it off. Not to mention, Yellowhaze and H2O is only going to be your source of damage, and they're not going to be there at this point. But there you go. Damage courtesy of the Blade of Despair. That is going to be Donut moving back, and the Turtle's going to be taken here.
Nxpe Evos has damage right now, but Bren Esports is still on full straw on this rotation.
And they're going to secure that turtle. James will be zoning out a lot of people, and so far Nxpe, they're just going to go out after that turtle take, except James, he might just get caught out. Pandora's not going to continue that fight anymore, and James just going to run back to his lane.
On to the objective.
No! What is happening? Kyle TZ almost killing James. Let's go to the gold lane. Yellowhaze half HP. Rough Waves coming in from Few, but Renegade, he takes Super Marco with him. Here comes the shotgun. H2O does go for Ogwin instead. They're gonna take down Few, and they're gonna stop at that.
This time it's the action onto the top lane. It's now the first kill of Donut, gaining momentum. It's all about the timing here on how to freely farm as a club, but on the bottom lane, it's Pandora and James. Pandora taking out the bottom lane turret.
That's the real objective. You don't have to kill your enemy XP later.
Yeah.
All you got to do is trade waves, trade turrets.
Yep, and that is honestly one of the things that Nxpe actually did very well from a while ago. They got the kill. They divided, you know, the team fight that Bren Esports was trying to fold. They divided it into the 3 different individual fights wherein they were able to get one. But unfortunately for them, it was 2 turrets, major objectives in the exchange that happened there for the side of Bren Esports. And this is what they actually like to play. If they get the space necessary for KLTC to create some space, given that they don't have any way to check the vision, and Nxpe Evos has that through Yeti Haze and those abyssal traps, which is why they're freely roaming around the lane. But unfortunately, they're not using it as much, given the constant pressure of Bren Esports and a possible burst damage too.
Yeah, now Super Marco switched down lanes on bottom.
But wait a minute, Kyle TZ, he gets caught out in few. He can't save his teammate Nxpe. A clean execution there, and they're looking for more. Yellow Haze with a concealed play. Abyssal Arrow won't land. They're going to protect the purple here, and Bren Esports, they're going to back off.
Yellow Haze needs more vision right now in order to counter Bren Esports rotation. How fast are they going right now with Ogwin? There's a lot of things that they need to worry about. The HP bars and also the shutdown from the back lines. The vision as well for Bren Esports. They're being countered on what to target here.
Yeah, and they're just slightly worried as to how they would be able to check the brushes because there's no mean first vision.
Oh, but hold that thought in the mid lane. A double knockup. Bren and Jay takes down Few. And Donut will go with the Blazing Duet, just clearing out that minion wave in the mid lane. And they're going to go back near the Lord area. Ogwin going to buy some time, going to buy some space for Bren Esports and Nxpe. They're lurking around the corner. H2O with a fully loaded knockout punch. The knockout stance ready to find Ogwin sniffing out the jungler here. 3/4 HP. A double jab left to right. Yellow Haze won't land Abyssal Arrow just yet. But Donut, he's going to go back. Half HP here on the Lord. Are they going to go with it?
This is one thing that they're trying to worry about from Nxpe Evos. It's the ultimates and the setup of skill set of Kyle T's that they can be set up. This contest from the Lord is so challenging, not unless James diverts the attention of Bren Esports.
Yeah. And will the Lord reset here? James in a 5v1 scenario inside the lines of his enemy. They're going to go in and reset the Lord. Pandora not going to go into James. And so far, Bren Esports and Nxpe, they decided not to go for it anyway.
Yeah, they can't go for the commitment anymore because the I Am Offended has already been used by Pandora, and they need at least 2 types of crowd control skills to take control of what seems to be a very energetic lineup coming in from Nxpe Evo. So as much as they want to go and check for the vision, just take a look at Ogwen, man. He just goes pure braveness, pure instinct because he doesn't know what to do. But that was wonderful picking in. It's just Ogwen taking the attention of everybody.
Oh, they got Few, and Few's gonna go down. Didn't even have the chance to go in with a rough waves. But Bren Esports, they did pay 1, but that's the Lord on their side.
Yeah, it's still going to be the kill for H2. They're trying to focus on with the trades here. I'm glad that you mentioned here, but Super Marco here has taken down Nxpe Evos.
Half HP, gone in a second. H2O with a double jab combo.
It's activation now for Nxpe Evos, and now targeting the mid lane. It's the tower, but there's a Lord down bottom that they need to worry about.
Bro, just give him a 67-0 in terms of HP, man. That was crazy coming in, and it's just mobility working for them after this point. But unfortunately for Nxpe Evos, they need to be able to defend this remaining turrets that they have, most especially because the Lord is already marching. Although this is just, you know, a Lord that is not luminous just yet. But taking a look at the items right now, I like the build-up is already going to be there. 5 items secured here by Kyle TC, so the magic damage is absolutely going to be insane for them. But so will be the Claude, landing down that Wind of Nature and Golden Staff, taking it in.
Yeah, but it looks like the Lord will be just easily taken down there. Are they going to go for a fight, though? I don't feel so.
I think Nxpe Evos right now, they need to respect the boundaries of Bren Esports output damage right here, because right now they need to secure the lanes as well. They need to protect the base at all costs, especially now that Donut is almost getting 4 items. They need the damage to counter out the tankiness of Bren Esports.
Yeah, so many things happening, Sona, but look at the gold.
That's the thing, though. That is the slight problem. It's very, very tight. And just imagine the itemization coming in from both of the teams, right? Paquito, H2O, the reason why he's consistently trying to fight, reach the backdoor plays, not only because of the emblem that he has, the high-end right, but also because of the physical penetration that he has with this Paquito. He knows that he will be able to access the backdoor plays, and he knows he will be able to pick off potentially at least one. You just saw the damage that he gave to Super Marco during that bot lane skirmish, and there was no way for that Beatrix to be able to escape in that fight. But take a look at Bren Esports this time around. It is Pandora that is trying to get so much, of the skirmishes, to get so much of the initiation, but it's just a thing, right? When the I'm Offended is gone, it's just a forced disengage coming from Bren Esports.
That's a mistake that Nxpe can be an advantage of, because right now H2O has the mobility, has the strength to burst down one, but the problem here is Ogwen is getting stronger heading into the mid game. Nothing to imagine, but how many defense items does he has right now?
Around 2 or 3 since he's playing the roam role, but he does have his key component there, I think the Guardian's Helm, that allows him to just never go home unless he's dead.
Yeah, that's a lot of vision, bro, and time.
Yeah, and in the same way, it's not only Ogwen building up to those defensive items. Pandora has also secured his Dominance Ice and Yatina Shield, so that will certainly be of help to that Abyssal Arrows that Yellowhaze has been throwing away for like most of this game. And that is not only to at least pressure the teammates, but to also check the vision. But so far, 60% of health is going to be the Lord here. Is Nxpe Evos aware of the situation, though?
Ogwen is just one man forcing out Nxpe Evos.
Conceal, but Lord is already taken down. Renegade misses the flicker, but does land the kick. That's a 2-man knockup. And look at the Blazing Duet Donut on the back line. Super Marco going in at Yellowhaze, but Yellowhaze with a flicker. No knockup will land. The chains. Super Marco no longer alive. James will be trying to run away, but Kyle Teasy, he's going for it. No knockup will land. He's still alive. James running away. Yellowhaze might be in trouble here, but the Lord is already taken down, and Yellowhaze will come next. Bren Esports with the Lord, with the team fight 1 as well.
A trade of 2 to 3 right now. Bren Esports utilizing the mistake of Renegade from that setup.
Oh man, that was good frontline defense coming in from Ogwen and Pandora, but a push.
This is very risky for James. He's gonna go down. Renegade in a 3v2. Donut, massive Blazing Duet, but the damage is quite not there yet. And Donut, he's gonna go back with a BMI, but Bren Esports, they're gonna call out. They're gonna take the safe way out.
This is the defense that we're talking about. The items right now of Bren Esports are also strong enough to counter the damage output of Nxpe Evo. So now,
yeah, there's already 3 major items coming in from Pandora and both the Masha coming in from Ogwen, so they already know how to handle the physical damage.
Oh no, H2 with an aggressive defense, just biting the dust there. Now Abyssal Arrow won't land. Renegade, he's the last line of defense here for Nxpe. The 1 siege minion. They're locking in. Donut, he's gonna get knocked up and erased by the shotgun. And James, he's gonna try to defend. Are they gonna go for the base lock? Ogwen scratching his way down to a win. Bren Esports takes game number 1.
There you go, Bren onto the first blood onto this game.